Wet Leg, self-titled debut album. Let's chat about it. Hey guys, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to chat about this long anticipated, very hyped debut album from Wet Leg. UK-based indie rock band dabbling in indie pop and post-punk revival. The sheer amount of publicity that this album had leading up to the days before it was released was pretty wild, but I certainly got the hype. I mean, it was really crazy to watch and see, but hearing every single leading up to this album practically, I got the hype. They all sounded great, and I've been very excited to chat about this album. Let's do it. This album starts off with being in love, and it's a pretty great intro. I mean, this really brings me back. I mean, I grew up in New York in the early 2000s. I lived for bands like The Strokes and the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. Wet Leg have definitely, done their homework studying those sounds. I love the crunchy riff. I love the harmonies that we get here. It's all so sweet, but it also has a real punch to it and some great one-liners. This album is full of incredibly memorable one-liners. It's simple, but not in a bad way at all. It's just a really great track. Chaise Lounge, on the other hand, is a little bit more of a beat. It's a little bit more post-punk influenced. I love the snarky attitude that we get here. It's sexy, it's hip, it's once again got some really insanely memorable lines. Not only that, but like the one thing that I get listening to the tracks like this, and some of the other singles as well, is that I really want to see Wet Leg live. Tracks like this are anthems, really good ones too. The hype is certainly real. Angelica is really great too. Honestly, I think it's the best track here. It's one of my favorite singles. It is just so insanely catchy. There's something also very hypnotic about the performances on this album, especially this one. These are very commanding performances from A to Z as well, from start to finish. It's a really great sound. I didn't really know that I was, craving some post-punk revival right now, but Wet Leg are doing it great. And it's so quotable. You'll be singing this all day. I feel like since it's released, I've loved Wet Dream more and more and more. This is such an anthem. I love just how fun and quirky the vocals are here. I love the surreal imagery that we get too. It's more than that though. This is like a damn mission statement for the band. And once again, the formula. It's so simple. My only real issue is that when things kind of slow down, I feel like some holes start to, appear in the sound of Wet Leg. I Don't Want to Go Out is a little bit more low-key. It's definitely not as sweaty or as raucous as some of the other tunes on here. I do think that's kind of an issue, though. I mean, I didn't hate it at first. It's lessened on me since it dropped a while back, but this just is not really doing it for me from a Wet Leg perspective. It's nice to listen to, but man, just things get very wishy-washy very quickly, especially the vocals. The songwriting seems off too, which is not what I'm interested in. Convincing too really worries me. I think this is the worst track here. Look, I don't necessarily have an issue with Wet Leg going for a slower song. They proved later that they could do that just fine. But this track is just faceless, shockingly so. I mean, I'm stunned by how much the passion just seems to be out the window on this track. Stylistically, it's just not really what I'm into from them. I don't think this is a very good track. I have a lot of the same thoughts on Loving You. I just feel like the energy and the excitement behind this album is just sucked out of me now. It comes off really mindless and half-assed and just really wishy-washy once again. I'm just not interested in this nearly as much, and it makes me sad because, remember when I was saying that I really want to see Wet Leg live? I feel like if they played this track live, I'd want to leave. And I'm not that into Supermarket either. I'm not into the lazy, sort of slacker vibes that we get on this track. I mean, lyrically, it still packs a punch, but instrumental-wise, this is bland, and performance-wise, this is bottom of the barrel. But outside of that, the good definitely outweighs the bad. This is still a very, very, very solid debut album, even a great one. Your Mom really got me back in the groove very fast. These are just no frills, sort of simplistic, but easily accessible tracks. They're just such anthems. And I don't hate that. I love the big catchy hook. I love these performances, they're just so commanding. It's got that little snarky attitude too. Hell yes. Oh No, on the other hand, is one of the most rugged tracks here. This riff is just, it is gnarly. It is dirty. As far as a heavy track goes, this is easily the heaviest thing here. I mean, talk about a commanding performance. This is one hell of a sweaty post-punk revival track. And with Piece of Shit, Wet Leg really, drives home the fact that they can do a sort of softer tune. It's quieter, it's much more pensive, but at least it's a well thought out track. It's done very tastefully, and they don't end up losing any of their personality. And Too Late Now is a great finale to this album. They have this one last punch of a track, and it's really exciting. There are some great details on this track. I love the pounding drums. The hazy production is a really nice twist too. It excites me for their future, and I want to see them take bigger risks like this in the future, because guess what? The rewards are insane, because this is an unbelievable finale. I mean, the sheer intensity of this track as it rolls on. Some of the lyrics. It's such a statement. It's a real knockout as a finale. I wish some of the lighter tracks really, caught me in a little bit of a better mood. But honestly, they're pretty rough to listen to. But the fact of the matter is, this is their first album, and there are so many great anthems. I wish just the energy of this album wasn't sucked out of me by some of the softer tunes, because this is still really, really great and a really solid, very exciting debut album from a band that's not going anywhere anytime soon. Let me tell you, I'm feeling a very strong 7 on this album, but let me know what you guys think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, guys.